Endgame, the conclusion of 11 years of meh to really good films. But was it the ending, see what I did there, that we all deserved, or was it just an enjoyable movie? That one didn't work as well. Oh, the answer is yes, and I'm going to tell you the 3 reasons why it is fantastic. I mean, amazing. Let's start in ascending order of importance with number 3. It takes the best parts of movies we already love, and Thor 2, gross, and shows us the evolution of each character as well as expands on certain aspects. The most obvious example is Captain America and pretty much any scene where he goes back in time. Whether it's the scene where he meets his younger, more brash self from the first Avengers movie, the incredible elevator scene from Captain America 2, or the payoff to the bar scene from Age of Ultron where he tries to lift Thor's hammer. That's not a euphemism, by the way. Then there's Tony, finally marrying Pepper Potts and having a soon-to-be fatherless daughter. And you know what that means. Probably shouldn't be making that joke about a child. Number 2 point. Permanent stakes. Unlike the ending of Infinity War, the deaths in this film have actual weight to them, and not just to the characters, but also the audience. Now, I already know what some of you are going to say. Well, in Infinity War, the characters didn't know they were coming back, blah blah blah, and that's true. But we, the audience, do, or did. And look, I know there are some people who might not have known that they would come back, but there are very few, and 100% not watching this. Really, the only memorable part of the happening, as I like to call it, was the interaction between Peter and Tony. The actual aftermath of the snap, or happening, was relatively brief. It wasn't until Avengers Endgame that we really got to see how it affected our heroes. I mean, the entire first 40 minutes of Endgame was everyone being all sad and chubby. Contrast this to the end of Endgame, see what I did there, where we don't know if we'll ever see Black Widow, Tony, or Chris Evans ever again. I mean, it's not like there's a movie literally the next year with a character that supposedly died in this current film, Infinity War, and Spider-Man Far From Home. I mean, cough. Moving on to number 3. Endgame has what a lot of MCU movies lack. Fat Thor. I mean heart. For example, you have the scene where Tony meets his dad, or that other scene where he isn't being a massive prick. For once. In fact, this is probably the most non-dickish Tony we've seen since Iron Man Uno, as it's called in No Country Whatsoever. Continuing with what I said about permanent stakes, this whole universe started with Iron Man, and his death brought many fans in the theaters to tears. Pussies. He definitely made up for the time he was selling weapons to actual terrorists. Actually, that was pretty bad. I don't know if he makes up for that part. Captain America's arc comes full circle as he goes back to the past and reunites with his love interest from his very first movie that also carried over into 3 other movies as well. The last point is something that every great superhero movie has, which is sacrifice. 2 of, in my opinion, the best superhero movies, The Dark Knight and Spider-Man Dos, the hero has to sacrifice their happiness for the greater good. Peter has to sacrifice his relationship with Mary Jane and pretty much his whole personal life because of his responsibility as Spider-Man. Batman chooses to be seen as the bad guy so that Gotham won't lose hope. Similarly, Tony makes the ultimate sacrifice, which he knows doesn't just affect him, but also his entire family of 2 people. These 4 things are why it is one of, if not the best MCU movie, and please know that this is just my opinion, and if you disagree with any of this, that's okay. You're allowed to be wrong. Look, is it a perfect movie? Yes. No. But what movie is? Besides Lion King. Anyways, thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please give it a like. If you didn't, dislike it. But just know if you dislike it, we can no longer be best friends.
I bid you farewell and good luck, morons. Bye.